Alright, so for this review, I'm going to do something a little bit different, you guys. Formatted a little bit differently because I'm going to tell you guys right now, I am not going to talk about this film twice on my channel. I feel like one time is going to be enough, and one time is going to be enough to put out all my thoughts and conclusions on the film. This will be non-spoiler, half of this will be spoiler, or minor spoilers, because I don't feel like doing a whole spoiler discussion on this either. So at the halfway point, I will give my rating, and then I'll get into why a lot of this film just did not work out for me. I will say this right off the bat, I will not discourage you guys from seeing this movie. If you guys want dinosaur action, you're gonna get it, whether it's stupid or not. You're gonna get dinosaur action in this movie. So if you're looking to just see dinosaurs, then this is right up your alley. But if you're looking for like something called, oh, I don't know, a story, then, you know, this is really not gonna be much of a movie for you. Basically, the whole idea of the movie is supposed to be that these dinosaurs are loose in the world, and how's the world gonna react, and all this other corporation stuff that's gonna capture dinos and experiment on them, blah, blah, blah. It's a plot. That's the first problem I had with this movie, is the fact that the plot is just not original, and the original ideas that they had for this movie, they do not roll with at all. And I'm going to speak negatively about this movie a lot in this video. I mean, but I will talk about the good points just to satisfy you guys, so you guys can hear me say good things about this movie. The visual effects and CGI are good. Like some of the best I've seen arguably since the very first movie. I mean, arguably the effects have gotten better over time, but from a visual standpoint where it's like, oh wow, a lot of shots are like, oh wow in this movie. Yes, this movie visually is the best since the first one. Number two, I really do like seeing the original cast. The scenes that they are in is very fun, it's very energetic, and I will say it's the highlights of this movie, honestly. And number three, the dinosaurs that they had, I love the variety of dinosaurs. They show the most variety of dinosaurs that I've seen in a Jurassic movie ever. And it could be too much, but at the same time, with the movie called Jurassic World, you do want to show more dinos. And the variety of dinos that they had in this movie, and seeing feathered dinosaurs too, worked very well for me. I love seeing the way these dinos move, the way they are, and just, you know, the dinosaur aspect works. Now, you guys did get my positive points for this movie, right? Look, I don't know what to tell you guys. This movie, look, it's almost like the Jurassic franchise has this pattern of each movie getting worse and worse, if that makes sense. It was like the first movie was the best, second movie was really, to me personally, it was the worst one for a while, and then the third one is watchable but also very meh. Now it's the first one was watchable, very good in my opinion. I really like Jurassic World. Then the second one, didn't like it. This one, I'm never watching it again. They play with ideas that are good ideas in this movie, and ideas that I would look at and be like, yes, go with that. And they don't do it. They disregard it, put it to the side to introduce new plot points to get characters from point A to point B, which you guys could argue, well, Godzilla vs. Kong did it, but not like this. They didn't have 5 million characters doing 5 million different things to lead them into different action scenes. They didn't have that. And this is exactly what this movie does. It's very incoherent. The characters feel really off the entire time. They make really stupid decisions a lot of the times as well. And they introduce plot just for the sake of plot. There are things in this movie that just boggled me that they didn't go with, that would be the next logical step in the series, and they introduce something stupid to step into place for it. This movie bothered me heavily. The original characters couldn't even save all of the scenes that they were in. And as a matter of fact, when you introduce these characters from the original cast into the new format of the action movie-ish setting of the Jurassic World series, there's not much they can do. Alan Grant, a character who is an archaeologist from the first movie, is not an action hero, if that makes sense. He's not doing what Chris Pratt character does in these movies. That's not his area of expertise. So really, they're just there through a majority of the time. They do some significant things within the movie, but it's significant things from the stupid plot lines that are introduced. And even the dinosaur parts, they made me angry to watch because there are multiple times where they're running from velociraptors or different creatures that you can clearly tell could outrun them, could catch up to them. I mean, at least in the other series, they had parts that made sense as to why they couldn't catch them sometimes. This movie made no sense. There will be velociraptors running after them. They'll turn a corner and they'll do these over-exaggerated rolls on the ground, slipping and falling like they can't catch them. If these are alpha predators, they suck at their job. I could continue complaining, but I'm sorry. Like, if you guys are looking just for dinosaurs, you're gonna get what you want. But this movie's story, characters, and motivations, and even some of the dino parts really were a major letdown. This, by far, in my opinion, at least Jurassic World 3 has some rewatchability. And Lost World, I didn't like it, but Ian Malcolm is in there. They have the characters in here, and those parts are watchable. But I am never watching this movie again. This has hit Transformers territory, guys. We're gonna keep on giving them our money, and they're gonna keep making as many of these as they can, for your own good. Dominion gets a bad movie rating. Now that's my non-spoiler territory. Now let's go ahead and get into some minor spoilers so I can get out of here. I'm done thinking about it. I'm gonna forget about this movie in a day, so I might as well just spew it out now. Okay, so the idea that they went with didn't feel like it made any sense. They just introduced it to get other characters involved and get them involved in the story that didn't feel natural or fluid at all. For example, the next logical step, we thought that, oh shoot, dinos are loose in the world, which I do love the beginning scene because beginning scene did show a little bit of chaos going on with dinos basically ruining stuff all over the place. I love that aspect, but they didn't continue down that trend. They instead put all the dinosaurs in these sanctuaries and had this form of lotus everywhere. And the idea for the villain is that he's going to use these lotus to eat up all these fields everywhere and basically have everybody pay higher money for working crop, their crop. See what I mean? This is the type of stuff that I'm talking about. They had good ideas, but they never went with them. And the ideas that they introduce are stupid. They're dumb. Why do we continue to give them our money like this just to keep doing more and more stupid things? We had introductions to Owen and Claire and all that. I didn't like those movies since the second movie, Fallen Kingdom, and I still don't like them in this movie either. And they introduced a clone girl again, and they make her backstory even more stupid. More stupid. They have her, apparently they're like, oh no, actually the person that she was cloned after, she actually gave birth to her. And she has some enzyme in her that's able to counteract the lotus or something like that. There were ideas that were put in here for getting the characters involved, but they were stupid ideas. And it's sad for me personally as a Jurassic Park fan to see the series go down this route. Now we had this payoff moment that happened at the end where Ellie and Alan Grant at the end of the movie, they finally get together. They have their moment where they kiss, but it felt way too late. It also never felt earned either after this movie. And they leave it open-ended too, to make more. And even if this was the conclusion, and they said that's it, this still would not satisfy me. This still would be the most let down Jurassic Park movie of all time. We need to figure out a way to make good stories again and not just focus on ways to get them to certain types of dinosaurs. Because yes, the dinosaurs do look cool, but just looking cool is not going to satisfy all of your audience. The reason why the first Jurassic Park worked very well was because it had very good characters, memorable scenes, memorable dinosaurs that influenced the plot, and the plot was influenced in a way that made sense. It was a well-written story, maybe not the best written story of all time, like people would say, but it was something that had a lot of commentary too, and did it in a way that was more subtle, and had a very fun atmosphere to it. That's what worked about Jurassic Park. This is just action movie with dumb plots introduced with more dinosaur action. And it felt desperate of them to bring back the original cast in this movie just for them to, well, if you really look at the movie, all they did was collected a sample for the Lotus. And that's the only important thing that they did in this movie, if you look at it like that. And they just introduced so many elements that are just so stupid. Like the dinosaurs, for example, they don't even follow their own rules. Like there are moments where Owen will put out his hands to a dinosaur. Now, the reason why he was able to do that to Blue and the other raptors was because they were raised in captivity. He was training them. These other dinosaurs are wild dinosaurs, and he does that and they stop. And the other characters do it too. Almost like, oh shoot, he's got the hand, oh man. Bottom line, I think I'm done talking about this movie. It's giving me a headache. I do feel like they could have done more with this movie, honestly. And this was probably the biggest letdown of 2022, easily. You know, I was excited to see like if it was going to end up being like apocalyptic world where dinosaurs are starting to become the apex predator. They're taking over everything. And it would be a message to, hey, this is what happens if you guys continue to mess with things. Things will always spiral out of control. But no, they decided to go the basic route and go some stupid directions. And I honestly feel like they should have listened to Ian Malcolm. The directors and writers and studios should have listened to Ian Malcolm's character in the first movie.
Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they didn't stop to think if they should.
Bottom line, if you guys like the movie, I'm not going to stop you from liking it because, like I said, there is some stuff to enjoy, like the characters of Alan Grant and Ian Malcolm and Ellen, like those, or Ellie. Those characters are very, you know, fun to watch in parts when they're not doing stupid stuff. And the dinosaur action, if you're just there to go there for that, then by all means, go ahead. Like I said, I'm not stopping you from watching this movie. If you like it, you like it. That's cool. I mean, I'm not going to stop you, but I just didn't like it. I just thought the guys could have done a better job. And if this is more, if there's more to come, I'm probably not going to watch those. I think I'm done. I'm done with dinosaurs. And that's something I should never say. You guys know I love monsters and stuff. But I think I'm done. I've had enough of this. It's gotten ridiculous and just, like I said, Transformers territory. What did you guys think of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom? Comment below, let me know. Was it a disappointment to you? Or did you guys enjoy it for certain elements? And if you guys like certain elements, let me know what those elements are down below. Let's try to keep the chat a little bit more positive this time. I know it's negative a lot of this video, but it's just, I'm very frustrated with this. And as always, if you guys like this video, which I'll probably get a lot of hate for this, make sure you guys subscribe today to join the Azilization.